What is up, my beautiful people? Welcome to episode 2 of the Bling and Branding podcast, where we come to be entertained, educated, and elevated. In this episode, I wanted to take a deep dive into the art of social selling, what it means, how I use it, and what you can do to apply it to your current situation. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. See you on the flip side. Social selling. Social selling, defined by Webster's Dictionary, is essentially using a company's brand or your own brand to sell a product, generate leads, find candidates, whatever it is you're trying to do in your business. You're essentially just using a brand of some sort, a platform, to connect with individuals on a social level and essentially sell whatever it is you're selling, right? So there's so many ways that you can utilize this to your advantage. The way that I have in the past is I have been an influencer for various different ravewear companies where I was given a link, a code, a discount code, and I was to create content and essentially try to get people to use my code for a discount to buy these products for these companies. And I've done everything from makeup products to accessories, clothing, all the things within the ravewear space. I've also done this with selling concert tickets for different local events, all kinds of things. So, I'm just taking pictures of myself, making funny, relatable memes and TikTok videos just to get it out there, get it on as many eyes as possible to organically get these people to click on my link and use my discount code. In my professional career, I have also utilized social selling within the recruiting space. Obviously, I'm Ricky the recruiter, right? I haven't had to pay for any marketing services. I haven't had to reach out to people. I've just used my platform, my personal branding, my credibility to get people to come to me. And that's been really cool. And, obviously, my personal brand has developed and changed over the years, but I've had the same kind of central messaging, which is always to remain positive, be really authentic and raw, and not really sugarcoat anything, and be committed to my personal growth and development. And probably a little too honest along the way, but I think that's just added to the whole je ne sais quoi, if you will, of what my personal brand is. But really, you're just building credibility, right? If you position yourself as a thought leader in your various industries, by doing that, you connect with the right people, you network with the right people, you show up every day, you're consistent, your messaging is consistent, it's factual based, and it's entertaining, it's educational, it provides value, right? That you need to provide value and you need to build your credibility. And that just won't happen overnight, unfortunately. It probably took me a good year and a half, maybe 2 years on LinkedIn specifically to gain enough traction for my personal branding to basically do my bidding for me. And by that, I mean, it got me my last 2 jobs. And also, when I was a recruiter, I didn't have to reach out to people. I didn't have to pay for, marketing companies. I didn't have to pay for advertising because people just came to me because they knew what I recruited, because I was very clear about that. They knew where I was based, what kind of company it was, the types of perks it provided, because I was very consistent about that messaging. So that's kind of how you have to do it. You're going to hear a lot of success stories where it seems like people had overnight success, and frankly, that just doesn't happen. Either people are sugarcoating the situation or they just got really fucking lucky, to be blatantly honest. It actually kind of upsets me and infuriates me a little bit when certain creators on these platforms are like, one day I just started posting and all of a sudden my career took off. Like, that's not how it works. Nothing is overnight success. Everything that is worth doing and every success story takes hard work, dedication, and consistency. It's gonna feel really cringy at the beginning. It is. And that's okay. You just have to start. And the best way to sort of get better at it is to just write all the time. I probably consume just as much content as I am pushing it out, if not more. And that's a way to get inspiration. That's a way to develop your own brand voice. That's a way to be really diverse in the things that you're saying. That's the way to gain new perspectives on things and maybe even change your opinions. And, you know, by getting content from other people from various walks of life and different perspectives, it'll just give you an edge. It'll just give you a wider viewpoint and really open your mind. People that understand the principles of social selling are the ones that really make a name for themselves. And it doesn't matter what industry you come from, what you're selling, what your goals are, you can always benefit from this. And I really think that is the future of all sales, really, is in B2B, in B2C, whatever it might be, because there's so much noise out there. There's so much AI now. There's so much messaging that is hard to tell if it's like true or not. And with influencer marketing too, like so many people are like being paid to say certain things. But when you follow a person on a social media platform, when you follow a brand that's fucking real and gives it to you straight and is really authentic about it and not sugarcoating anything and just, you know, states facts, it's so much more believable, and that credibility piece is there, and there's a little bit more, like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like more trustworthy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And that's really the best way to try to go about it. It was always so awesome when I would jump on a pre-screen with somebody and the number one thing they would say is, I can just tell that you guys are serious about all the things you say. I can just tell that your culture is the way you say it is and you've really done it right. And to hear that was just honestly the best thing ever, because my boss Josh and I worked really, really hard to curate a very specific energy, a very specific vibe, where everybody was not only allowed to be exactly who they are at work and not have to mask, but they were celebrated. And it was just a really awesome symbiotic relationship where we were really breaking the mold of what it meant to be a traditional brokerage, and it was really awesome to be a part of that. So, you know, what I'm trying to say here is be authentic, utilize your brand, utilize your company's brand to reach your goals. If you're in a position where, you know, you are needing outside individuals to ramp up sales or source leads or candidates or whatever it might be, like, start posting, start getting your voice out there, start building that credibility, start networking with people that inspire you, and just get your stuff out there, man. The best way, you know, I would say to start this, honestly, if you're like, dude, I don't know, Rick, like this is a lot, like I don't make content, I'm not a copywriter. I wasn't either. And neither was anybody else before they started doing it. So what I would really recommend is whatever niche you're in, whatever space, whatever industry you're in, find those voices that are really making a name for themselves and really leading the industry, and just ingest their content. Put on their little notification bell on LinkedIn and just start following their journey and just listening. And don't only stick to your niche, don't only stick to your industry, branch out. Just start following those top voices that know what they're fucking talking about. You know, the Darren McKees, you know what I mean. I can't, oh my gosh, now I'm like trying to come up with names and I can't for the life of me. But just start following those people that have really great insight. And I'm not talking about the people that are like unattainable in terms of, their reach, like, celebrities and influencers that have 6-figure followership. The people that are just normal people, and they've gained a lot of traction because they have great things to say. They have lots of opinions to give, and they worked really fucking hard to grow. Those are the people that, you'll really gain inspiration from. Those are the people, they're just kind of going off the cuff. This started out as something to elevate their current career and to, network and to help whatever it is they were trying to help. And now it's just turned into something where it's like an everyday thing. It's super cool, actually. My journey started when I was just, like I said, trying to market services for a company. But that alone wasn't enough to gain traction, right? I had to show who I was. I had to share personal stories. I had to admit really hard truths and come clean with things. And once I did that for long enough and I got enough people listening to me, that's when things started to really change. Because now I not only had the credibility of what I was talking about, I not only had companies backing me, but I'd also gained my brand voice, and it was really clear and it was really consistent. And I'm not saying that you have to be married to, whatever it is that you were trying to portray, right? I think I've changed my top 5 hashtags, because when you have creator mode on, which also I recommend doing that, because then it starts recording all of your analytics and popping up for you without having to pay for premium, which is very expensive. And obviously, $40 a month is a lot in this economy. But turning on that mode will definitely help you. But what I'm trying to say is, I have changed my direction. And it wasn't a stark overnight change, but it's just evolved, like anything else. If you're not changing, that means you're not growing. And if you're not growing, then you're stagnant. And I really believe that being stagnant is one of the worst things that a person can be. I know I've kind of gone on a lot of tangents about this, but just bear with me. This is something I'm really passionate about, and I really believe that holds a lot of, opportunity when it's done consistently and done right. Okay, so we've talked about what social selling is, how I've applied it to my life, and just how you should start and all the benefits of it, right? But what you really have to do first, before you really start posting, before all of the eyes come to your profile, is optimize it. And by that, I mean turn on creator mode. I mean have some really strong branding across your profile picture and your cover art. Make sure that it's clear to what you do. It flows together. It's cohesive. You really want to make sure that your profile picture is a picture of you, right? It's clear, it's professional, it also shows off a little personality. And you want to make sure, that your about section is a culmination of your personality and who you are and the types of things that you offer. There's a really fine line to walk on LinkedIn, I feel, in terms of straddling that personality with professionality. And I think very few people actually do this quite well. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I kind of feel like I do it quite well. I talk in a professional manner, but I slip in things that are really passionate. I'm really passionate about things that are really important to me and things that show off who I am as a person. And then you want to make sure your experience is filled out all the way, because this is also your online resume, right? And the other thing about, having all of this stuff filled out is that it's SEO, it's keyword searching. So if you're ever in the position where you're looking for a new opportunity, a new job, a side hustle, those recruiters, those hiring managers, those leaders that are looking for those people to recruit are searching certain keywords, right? So if you're looking for content creation positions, I would suggest putting content creation as a top skill and, adding in all of your experiences anytime that anything relating to content creation you did, and making sure those types of words are embedded all over your profile. Things like brand development, social media marketing, copywriting, all that sort of stuff, because that's just going to make you more visible. And when your amazing content that you write from social selling and using your personal brand and your company's brand drags all this traffic to your profile, you want to make sure that you're not shitting the bed when they get there, right? You want to make sure it looks professional, it's enticing, it's intriguing, it paints a picture of who you are as a person. Because, obviously a resume is just words on a page, right? Think of your LinkedIn profile as the painting of your work history, the painting of your story. It's got colors, it's got images, it's got things that evoke some sort of emotion and tell a story. Not to get too crazy into it, but I think there's so much value to optimizing your profile. And you also obviously want to fill out the education portion. If you can, if you have any certifications in licensing, add those as well. And if you can, reach out to your superiors, reach out to your colleagues and ask for recommendations. I know that seems really uncomfortable, but it can obviously, oh my God. It can honestly go a really long way when, you get esteemed compliments from the people that you work with. Yeah, just make sure you fill out all of those sections that you possibly can to the best of your abilities, so that when that traffic does get there, they're like, damn, okay, here's the proof in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's all I have to say on this topic. Thank you so much for listening. If you ever have any questions specifically relating to your brand voice, if you ever want me to go over your LinkedIn account and audit your profile for you, if you ever want some resume advice, if you ever want copywriting advice or portfolio advice, I am here. I love helping people, and me, getting the opportunity to teach others helps me to get better as well. So it's not just me doing a favor for you, it's a symbiotic relationship. So my DMs are always open on my LinkedIn. My / is Ricky the Recruiter. You can email me at blingandbranding@gmail.com. You can message me on my BeanPod website. Whatever is most comfortable for you, I am more than happy to help. Thank you so much for listening to my little rant. I just felt really called to get on here and kind of speak on that. So thanks for being here. You're the best. If you liked this episode, please subscribe, share it with your friends. Let's all have some laughs, lessons, and brand new perspectives together. I release episodes every other Friday, Junior, so stay tuned. See you on the flip side.